Today we're going to be talking about passive versus active socialization, a crucial concept that often gets pretty misunderstood when it comes to dog training. A lot of people think that socializing their dog means allowing them to interact directly with other dogs and people. While this is commonly referred to as active socialization, it's actually not always the best approach. Let's break down why passive socialization is a much more effective method.
Yeah, that's right. Active socialization, or direct interaction with other dogs or people, is often thought of as the main way to socialize the dog. However, too much of that active socialization can actually lead to more harm than good, especially if those interactions are not controlled or if your dog is not prepared for them. It can create way more stress and anxiety for the dog, which leads to reactivity, fear, or frustration.
So what's the alternative? Passive socialization. Passive socialization is the art of allowing your dog to experience the world around them without directly interacting with it. It's about letting the world pass them by, whether that's other dogs, people, cars, bicycles, or anything else, while teaching your dog that these things are not a threat or a reason for arousal, and that nothing needs to happen as they pass by.
This technique helps to create environmental neutrality, which is the ideal state for a well-socialized dog. Neutrality just means that your dog can be in a busy setting, like a coffee shop, and not react to anything that happens around them. So people, dogs, cats, bikes, cars, everything can pass by, and your dog remains unbothered by it, just in a composed, calm state, and that's the goal.
Now, the opposite of neutrality is reactivity. Reactivity happens when everything and anything that comes near your dog triggers an interaction. Think about it like this. Imagine you're at the grocery store. Instead of everyone minding their own business, picking out groceries, and then leaving, instead, random people come up to you, pick you up off the ground, and give you a super intrusive hug, whether you're welcoming of it or not.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, sometimes you think you might be okay with it, but the majority of the time, it would make you feel like super uncomfortable, irritated, or upset. And so you probably would start to dread going to the store because now you never know when someone's going to invade your personal space. And this is exactly how it can feel for your dog when they're constantly being approached by other dogs or people without any control over the interaction. It just creates anxiety, stress, frustration for the dog, and it could lead to reactive behaviors.
Definitely. When we allow random interactions, we're not giving our dogs the tools they need to remain calm and composed in the face of these triggers. The key to socialization is not about allowing every dog or person to approach and interact, but about teaching your dog to be neutral to these encounters. The more neutral your dog is to the world around them, the less likely they are to become reactive when something unexpected happens.
And so with passive socialization, we're teaching your dog to observe the world around him, but not engage in it unless you say it's okay to do so or you allow it. And so it's about being calm and relaxed in the presence of distractors. The more your dog experiences the world around them without having to react to it, the more confident and well-adjusted they're going to become.
To sum it up, active socialization, which is direct interactions, can be very overwhelming and counterproductive, especially if not managed properly. Instead, passive socialization is the way to go. It helps your dog develop neutrality to the environment, meaning they can exist in a setting without becoming reactive to the world around them. This is the foundation for a calm, well-behaved dog who can confidently navigate life no matter what's going on around them.
And remember, we're not trying to overwhelm your dog with too much too soon. So passive socialization will give your dog the chance to observe and learn and become calm in the presence of distractions. And it creates a confident, relaxed dog who can enjoy every experience without stress or reactivity.
Absolutely. I think it's also really important to note that if we are allowing too much active socialization, where every person, every random dog gets to come interact with our dog, we're really diminishing our relationship with our dog. We're making us not as important to them, which is really the whole point of the board and train and just life in general with the dog, is to rehabilitate that relationship or create just a strong one from the beginning. But when we bring too much of that outside noise into it, that becomes way more exciting for the dog, and our relationship and leadership really takes a back seat.
And so it is up to you to advocate for those boundaries for your dog and yourself to create a better relationship. And we're going to coach you through it, but our favorite line is, no thank you, they're in training. And we will teach you throughout the board and train as we into next week how to introduce your dog to specific dogs and people that are in your close circle. But for 99% of the people we encounter throughout the day with our dog, they have no business interacting directly with our pup. They can walk by, they can talk to us from a respectful distance, and by advocating for those boundaries, your dog will learn that they don't need to advocate for themselves, which sometimes happens in a really ugly, negative, dangerous way when they have to get nasty and bark and lunge and growl to advocate for their boundaries. And then it builds more trust between your dog and yourself.
Good luck. We'll see you in the next video.